Super flat. Well, hello.
Hello, hello.
I'm gonna like scoot in a little bit.
Yeah, I do.
So we are live and waiting for Carella.
Yep.
And want to start with some...
Yes, some housekeeping notes that we have here. Don't forget, guys, we are welcoming back Dr. Michael Hakimi. We are so excited to have him back with us. There she is.
And expanding
our practice.
Precision sculpt practice and things like that. So definitely look at all the specials that we have to offer this month.
Quite a few.
Which include surgical and non-surgical. And the surgical specials happen to be...
Precision sculpt of the chin, neck, and jawline for $3,995. Precision sculpt 360 abdomen, $7,995. We'll go ahead and just read these off quickly.
And Selfina for $2,995.
Hey, Dr. Justin in the house.
There goes our order of that we were.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, so those are our specials. We have Selfina and we have Precision Sculpt. Definitely check it out.
Last few days of our Botox banking and filler special.
Here's Carella.
Yep.
And we also have Botox and filler banking special. We also have skincare special too. So check those out on our website. So we are connecting. Yay!
Ladies!
Bella in the house.
She here.
Hey.
Wait, can I get all these specials?
We're going over all of our specials.
Whoops.
Can I have
a picture?
Yeah.
So we can all remember the time.
Yes.
Let me get rid of that.
So a little fun thing to start off with. We got some Midwest girls in the house today.
Yeah.
But we got a fellow Michigander. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
We are.
Yes. So where are you from?
Okay, so I'm not sure if this is true, but I did a creep as a good Insta creep that I am. And I think we're very we may be from the same place. I went to school in Birmingham at Birmingham Marion.
Oh, okay. What's your country day?
See, I knew it. That's what I thought. I thought that we were close.
So on the same street on Losser.
Really?
Schools, yeah.
No way.
Well, they're all private schools. So she went to an all-girls private school, and then there's Brother Rice, but they're just down Losser, and I was like 2 miles from you. Oh, you guys were at like 15. Well, between 14th and 15th in Losser, and I was at 13th in Losser. So we're close.
Super close. Yeah. We'll do another Instagram live later for my all girls high school experience. We'll do I'll tell you that later.
4 cocktails for that.
Yeah.
These are the Rice guys right next door. They were really
Yeah, that's true. Okay, cheers, ladies. I'm drinking a dry cider because I am on a snowboard trip right now, and you got to do that when you're on a snowboard trip.
Where are you going snowboarding?
So I'm in McCall, Idaho. I don't know much about it, but it's gorgeous and there's so much snow. So I'm based in Portland and it's 7.5 hours from here, which is not bad at all. So we're just getting dumped on with snow. So I've had a full day of snowboarding underneath my belt. And let's just say I thought I was in shape, but I'm not 100% sure after that day. Wow. Yeah, it's a lot.
Dr. Justin is a big snowboarder. So
he actually leaves Sunday for Jackson Hole for a week.
Oh, that's so awesome. Yeah. So you're coming on, you're like, well, we're on the same side of the town. I always think I'm for some reason in my head, I'm still in the Midwest, but I've lived on the West Coast for 3 years now. So I feel like a West Coaster at this point.
Yeah, for sure. So for those who don't know, Carella is my virtual trainer these days. And I've been working out with her in Carella Rae Live since
COVID.
Since July, because I was doing the F45 and it was like the same old, and I'm like, let me see what this Carella Rae Live is all about. And it just kicked my booty, like big time. And I love it so much. So I was like, we got to get her on. And so we're going to start with some fitness things because Dr. Spur and I are always talking about fitness, how we can incorporate it into our daily lives, how we can make it.
She's actually incorporating it. I'm working my way. into it.
We'll get you. Listen, by the end of this live, we'll get you. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this one's like, 5 o'clock. All of a sudden, she's like this. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, I gotta go work out. You know, and then some days,
my girl.
you know, I worked out twice today. I'm like, twice? I can even work out once a week.
That's my girl.
I'm trying.
Yeah, that's why.
But I mean, have you seen her lately? I mean, she looks amazing. I mean, she always looks amazing, but she looks amazing.
I look at her arms and I'm like, God, maybe
I know.
Yeah. It's great though. It's so easy. You make it so easy. So do some squats live.
No, I've been squatting on a snowboard all day. I'm not doing it.
It's funny because he's actually talks about how he's getting ready for his like snowboarding trip. He's like, I just took the stairs. I did some squats the other day.
The stairs, you know. Yeah, he's like, all of a sudden he's in the kitchen, like on the ground. I'm like, what are you doing? Get ready for my snowboarding trip.
He should, honestly, because I thought I was a good snowboarder, and then like 3 hours in, I was like, bro, like I don't know if I can handle this. Like, but there has been, it's actually amazing. There's like 5 feet of like powder, so it was like up to my like tummy in powder. So yeah, so I got my workout. I did not do any Carella Rae live today, I'll tell you that. But and there we go. Okay, so like I have this rule of like do not leave the house without a tripod, and I left the house without a tripod.
Oh,
so
no.
if I go falling, it's possible it happens, but I'll pick myself back up.
My husband's in Idaho. I mean, Idaho, whatever.
Yeah.
Idaho. Yeah. McCall. Yeah. McCall, Idaho. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so just to get things started, Carella, why don't you tell us about your fitness background and everything that encompasses.
And you went from Michigan to Portland?
Oh, girl, no, I went everywhere. So I used to, so backstory, I met my husband in college, and then he is a professional soccer player. So he got his start actually in Norway. So he lived in Norway for 5 years. So he played in the Norwegian Premier League for 5 years. And then we would be on here till tomorrow if I told you the whole story. But, so he came back one vacation, and we eloped. I flew there. I met him, or we never had a love in college, but we fell in love really quickly. I moved to Norway. And then actually when I met Ashley was when he came back and played for the Columbus Crew. Because Ashley was doing her little thing on the sideline, looking super cute and amazing, as she always is. So back up. I played soccer in college. So I've always been an athlete and really competitive. I played at Division I soccer in college, which is where I met Steve. And so when we got back from living abroad for a lot of years, it was like, what am I going to, I wasn't working over there really because I wasn't able to. And so I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And, actually my mom, who is 100% watching this right now, love you, Mom. She would not miss a thing.
And where was college?
Everywhere, Appalachian State in North Carolina, and then I transferred to Oakland University in Michigan. So you know where Oakland is, I'm sure.
I know that.
So I got my start. I was actually training a lot of like really competitive female soccer players, and then my sister, she's here. I know my mom's here. She would never miss me talking on the internet. Yeah. And I started training at this like amazing, super cool gym in Columbus, Ohio. And that's really where I got my fitness start, just as a group fitness instructor. And I just like I knew like from that, when you have that moment where you're like, okay, this is what I want to do forever. And then, I spent like 4 years there, like just learning every type of way to train, basically, like from strength training, high intensity interval training, more Pilates based classes. I just really like fell in love with all different types of fitness. So then because my husband's career is, he gets traded a lot, we get moved around a lot. From there, I went to DC. Actually, I spent like 6 months in Denmark, and then came to Portland. In Portland, I got I really had a passion for yoga. I started doing a lot of yoga. And I felt like it was super, like that was kind of the missing link to my fitness regimen, because I was so much like, I need to kill myself every time I work out. I need to just beat my body down. And I was missing a link. And that like really clicked for me when I came to Portland and got trained at like the best studio ever, which I still work at. They're shut down right now, sadly, but, and then when the pandemic hit, it was like, because Steve, he moves me around a lot, which he hears it all the time from me, but it was actually a wonderful thing because I have so many clients from so many different states, and I have such a large people that never got to take my class anymore. And so I started honestly doing Instagram lives, and it just like took off from there. And it really felt like that was it just kind of exploded from the pandemic and everyone being at home. And then once the Instagram lives were doing so well and everyone was like, please don't stop doing this. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to stop doing this. And then basically overnight, I mean, within 4 weeks, I created my website and did all, and it just has been crazy since then. So yeah, and here we are. So it's been the most rewarding experience of my life to be able to connect with the amount of people that I've been able to connect with that I wasn't able to keep that connection just because of my lifestyle. And now I feel like I have my people all around me, even though they're not necessarily around me. So it's so nice. And just to like have that friend of a friend. And it's just the way the internet works, even though it sucks to be virtual all the time because you miss that human connection, it just opens up the possibilities of like touching and meeting and connecting with so many other people.
Now let's talk about people who don't have a home routine right now. What would you suggest that they start with? Is it a certain space? Is it like, how big of a space do they need? Do they need a mat? What do they need? Like build somebody's home workout area. Say somebody has nothing. What would you suggest that they do?
I would say open your arms this way and then step your feet as wide as you can. And that's all that you need. And I really believe that like more than anything. And a lot of people say things that they don't believe that's not really doable. And I hope and pray that people see that in my workouts. It's never going to be perfect at home. You're not going to have 15 different sets of weights. Maybe you do, but likely you don't. You're going to be using a dishcloth instead of a fancy glider, right? Like you're going to be using the edge of your couch instead of a plyo box. But if you have a body, you can not have one piece of equipment, or you can have a very inexpensive small area and you can get it done. Mm-hmm. And that is what I have in mind in every single workout that I do, because of course I could expand, but my mindset is you're in your house, you're crunched on time, and you don't have a lot of equipment and you can't go anywhere. And I want to bring the same energy that you get in a studio when you're feeling like the vibes. Of course, it's never going to be the same. But I would argue that you don't need one single piece of equipment to get a completely well-rounded workout and also to see results, right? Both physically and mentally, because a lot of people talk about the physical results, which of course they're amazing. You feel good, you look good, like hello, but the mental part of that, those endorphins that get going, right? Like you can get those in your house. You don't have to leave your house to get those.
Yeah, she's got me using paper plates.
Really?
Yeah. I got something for everything.
Yeah. And she always says that. And what's so nice too is it reminds me, because for me, I'm a perfectionist. I want everything I do to be perfect. And she always checks me in class because she just pushes you, because I want everything to be perfect and I want to have all the right equipment and everything. And she's like, you're not going to have that. So grab your soup cans, grab your water bottle, like whatever it is that you need. And I'm like, I'm going to grab my paper plates.
And I really and I love that you're saying that. And I love that because I believe in, pretty much anything you really want to make work. Like, let's take fitness out of it, right? Like anything in life that you want to make work. Yes, there are limitations, but you can make it work. So if you want to get in 30 minutes, if you're committed to giving yourself 30 to 45 minutes a day, yeah, it's not going to look perfect, right? But you can do that. And I hope that people are seeing that, and it doesn't have to be fancy. Like you're saying, it's paper plates. They do the same thing as like a glider in a studio.
I'm going to do that now.
Yeah, it's really great. I just grab my dining room chair and hold on for dear life, and I'm gliding all over the place.
Right.
Wow. Yeah. And that's the other thing too that I really like is like on Mondays and Fridays, it's 45 minutes, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, when you're in the thick of like the work week and stuff like that. And listen, we're busier than we have ever been in our office right now. 30 minutes sometimes is all that I even have mentally to commit to a workout. And that's what I like about the program is that at least I know on Mondays and Fridays, I'm like, okay, it's Friday. I made it to the end of the week. I can commit 45 minutes. It's not like I have plans to go out anywhere. But then on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, when we're super busy, it's really
short
doable, you know?
So tell us about how you have it structured. Are there videos that people can go watch that you've already done? Is it all live? Is it different? Like, okay, I want to work out for an hour, so you can pick this one. Or I only want to work out for 30 minutes or 20 minutes. I can only do a 15-minute quick one. Do you have that like variety?
Totally. So all workouts are only 30. My workouts are 30 and 45 minutes. So the way that they're done, and it's ever changing because the way that like our world is completely changing with COVID and people's viewing habits, I'm always open to changing it. But the way that I have it now is, so I usually do at least one live workout a week because I love that I can see people, even though we're not like, you know, together, it still does bring this kind of aspect of being together. Every day, the class is the same. So on Mondays, it's full body strength. On Tuesdays, it's lower bodies. Wednesdays is core. Thursdays is upper body. Fridays is Fridays. Fridays is straight up cardio, like nonstop. And then Sundays is yoga. So Saturday, hopefully, is your rest day. Be with your family, do an extra workout. A lot of people who take my workouts do other workouts, which I love that. Like people who say that you should do whatever workout makes you feel good, you know? So as long as you're moving your body in a way that feels good, that's great. But yes, so every day there's a class release. Well, 6 days a week, not Saturday. And they're always the same and they're released at the same time every day and they're on demand. So they get sent to your email. You sign up for the class. And the reason that I have people sign up for the classes as opposed to just a video library is that it's on your schedule. You know it's coming. This is your schedule. Monday is full body strength, right? Not everybody, and a lot of people don't do my classes on that day, which is fine. And we're all in different time zones. I have clients from every time zone. I have clients from different countries. So I want you to be able to fit it. Right. I want you to be able to fit it into your schedule. So if you're an early morning person and the workout hasn't been released yet, then you do the one from yesterday or you do it, you know. So and then I stream a live, at least one live usually.
And how does that work?
Yeah.
Where's the live? Is it on your website? Is it on Instagram? Like, where is that?
It's the same. It's all the same. So every week, it's actually really cool. The functionality of what I use Mind Body Services, which you guys might, do you know, I'm sure you're familiar with Mind Body. It's like a scheduling.
For like other studios around here. Yeah.
So they have a virtual wellness program. So it's basically like a virtual studio, right? So you're taking Carella's class at 8:30 a.m. On Monday, right? And if it's not live, it's just going to pop into your inbox and you can do it right at 8:30 or you can do it. You have 14 days to do the class. So I made it that way so that like there's no excuse not to get it done, right? You have 14 days to get it done. If you want to do it, you'll find a way to do it. And then if it's live, then it's just a live class. So it's me in real time. So if you can make it at 8:30, great. And then if not, it uploads and it sends out later after it uploads. So people still get to do that class. Because generally, if you're not doing the class with me at the time, you're probably doing it after work, you know? So it's in your inbox by the time. And so then people just view the live stream of what was earlier on in the day.
Mm-hmm. And does it only give them one access to that class? Like say it goes into their inbox and you said it's good for 14 days. If they like do half the class, but then they get a phone call and they have to like go, can they go back and enter and finish it? Or would it finish or would it replay? Like how does that work?
Once it's in your inbox, it's yours for start. Like it's yours for 14 days, 24-hour access. You can do whatever you want with it. You can mix and match. Like I have a lot of people who actually want more time, so they want an hour. So they'll do core and then they'll do upper body together. They'll do them one after the other. So it just depends. And I think like that's so important too. I firmly believe with going back to what you said about 30 minutes, for me, I don't really work out more than 30 minutes, like 45 when I teach. But
you're so intense for 30 minutes.
Yeah, my attention span's like gone after 30 minutes. I'm like, other stuff. I have a hard time working out more than that.
And especially at home, like, listen, it's not a scene. You're not saying hi to your friends. You're not chatting. It's like, you're not seeing people around you. I think it's unrealistic to think that people are but some people do, but generally most people like quicker workouts. And one of the things is like, I firmly believe that you can make it work if you want to work. And I firmly believe that if you work out 30 minutes, not even a day, and move your body, and especially Ashley, as you know, like they're really hard workouts. I don't,
all rants and raves about how great they are.
Yeah. I don't pretend because I don't like when fitness instructors are like, no, you can, anyone can do it. It's like, it's a very hard workout. I will promise you that no matter what fitness level you're at, I will guide you through it and you can do it. It's
has
more
variation,
about
like within it.
Now, say somebody like me who's got a bad lower back, do you have like options of, okay, we're doing this, but if you've got a low back, then do it this way? Like, do you have that kind of stuff throughout it?
100%. And so what for me, it's like I like people because I think just like in life, people listen to what other people tell them too much in general. Like people are like, oh, this person knows what's best for you. Like, you know what's best for you, right? Like, you know, you have a lower back. And when you're doing group fitness, like you're never going to find a program that's going to be like, okay, can to your body, right? Like I can't get inside your body and feel all the things that you're feeling. So for me, I like to put it on other people. If you need a longer warm up, you should pause right now and you should give yourself a longer warm up. If you need to lower the impact, then you should not leave the ground. So like, let's say you have a low back issue, then you should never leave the ground. You should do the like if we're doing a squat pop, right? You should just speed up your squat.
Yeah, I can't do those.
You know, like, yeah, you shouldn't leave the ground ever because it's going to do more harm for your body than it is going to do good. And I think that giving people, I hope, and the one thing that I hope that people see about me as a fitness instructor is that like, I don't know what's best for you. You know what's best for you. I want to help you. I want to make this workout super hard. So those of you that like are very, long or have been in your fitness journey for a long time and can really want to take it up a notch are able to. But I also want the person that is like, hey, I haven't worked out in 2 years and I just don't know where I'm at right now. Like, please jump in. I promise you, I'm going to take you there. You're not going to be able to do every single move. I can't do every single move half the time, especially it's day to day too, right? Like some days you're like, oh, I'm feeling the vibes. I slept well. I'm going to crush this. I believe mostly it's about mentally being like, hey, this is where I'm at today. And I'm just going to move my body, or like, hey, I'm feeling so good today and I'm going to crush it and I'm going to try to do something new. But it's more about like you doing that for yourself, you know, versus me, because I don't know.
You know, in tune with your own body. And it took me a while because I was working out with a trainer. You know, it took me a while to speak up and to be like, you know what, I can't do that. Like that's going to hurt me. And it took me a long time to realize that I need to be more upfront because I couldn't walk for 2 days. Like I stopped training for like a long time because of that. And then finally I was like, you know what? No, I got to speak up now. And once I did that, and actually I had a female trainer, which I think makes all like, is so much better because they listen, you know, and really after that, it was like, you know, and I could do things. And I was like, if I was like, look, I can't really do that. Can we just work the same muscle group, but in a different way that doesn't have that kind of impact? Like I was able to do those, you know, but it took me to understand that I need to speak up too.
Totally. And that's what I hope everyone, you know, that's what I want as a fitness instructor is for people to understand that. It's like a lot of fitness instructors, and I know most fitness instructors are trying their best to like do the best for their clients. I really believe that. But I also see a lot of like, just in anything, there's ego in, you know, thinking that, you know, but truly like, the idea of like a workout needs to be so hard that you can't breathe or move or whatever every time is so outdated. And I truly hate that style of whatever. Now, having said that, my workouts are really freaking hard, right? But
girl.
But
she's lying.
Right? But like you have the freedom to say like, hey, that doesn't work for me. I'm going to do something else. Right. And Sarah, to your point, it's like, you want to feel from your fitness instructor that you have the freedom to say that, right? Like you want to feel like you can speak up and say, hey, this doesn't work for me or whatever. And I hope that is something that with every video, I hope to get that point across is like, man, if this doesn't work for you, cut it. Don't do it because I'm saying it. Cut it. Find something new, you know, or skip it. Come back.
Do you have a goal, an overall goal with all of your videos? Is it for toning, weight loss? Like, what is it? All everything? Like, what exactly is your main?
I love this question. My goal is to make people show up for themselves. So my goal is to make people turn my video on, feel energized, and feel better about their day. Like, of course, like I could say, like, I've had so many people say, oh my God, I've lost X amount of weight, or I've done this and I've done that. And I love that. And and sometimes it's like people say like, it's not about that, but yeah, that's a really awesome thing when you feel good about your body is toned, and you feel, you know, like you look good. Like that is so beautiful and amazing, and I'm so happy, and I want that for people, right? I want you, and of course you're going to. It's impossible because they're hard and they're effective and they're creative, and you're going to work muscles that you've never touched before in your life. But in the same sense, it's like my goal is for people to in their head wake up and say, I just did something that I'm not sure I could do, but I showed up for myself and I did it anyways. And so then when I leave my mat later on during work or a conversation with, you know, your spouse or your partner or your friend or a boss, right? Like you can also show up for yourself in those conversations too. You can do hard things. And also I want people to struggle, right? Like I want you to struggle physically, because with struggle comes strength. So like when you're in this, and people always say this, like, oh, you're doing a burpee or you're a plank, and it's just a plank, but it's not just a plank. It's like how you do anything is how you do everything. So like if you're giving yourself that extra 10 seconds when your mind is like, stop, drop, you suck, like drop, you can't do this, whatever. And then you go 10 seconds later, then the
like,
next time,
Yeah,
yes.
sure.
Yeah.
But that attitude permeates your life, right? Like that transcends through your life and how you show up for yourself and through other people. And that is my only goal. So the physical part is like, yes, you're gonna look freaking amazing. There's no doubt, there's no way. And I really believe in my program as far as like the way that I schedule things and the difficulty level and all those things. But more for me is like, you know, when people the mental aspect of it, for sure.
So say somebody works out with you and they haven't been working out for a while, and they join one of your classes, and you know they're kind of sore on day 2, like it kind of like it creeps. And then when do you think is the best time to do that next workout? Is it day 1 after workout when they start feeling sore? Is it day 2? Like when do you recommend that?
So I always say like when people are starting off, you know, I do like a first free week, and I think that the idea that you're going to start off doing every single class every day is unrealistic, unless you're someone who's been steadily working out for a long time and you're just looking to mix it up. But if you're starting new, and it's so funny because it's like I don't want to say don't work out because that's what I do, but don't work out. Like resting your body when your muscles are sore, right? They're recovering, and it's telling you like you need to rest. And there's so much overuse of your muscles, and that's where injury happens. So if someone is, and that's the reason why I have my workouts the way they are. So on Tuesday, right, you're doing lower body, and then you're not really touching your lower body on Wednesday, you're doing core, right? And then of course, you're moving your body and you're going to do stuff, but that's why I like to segment that out. But if you're just starting off new, I would say like your goal should be to pick 2 to 3 classes that kind of like that you are drawn to, and jump in. And then if you're sore the next day, you should be doing a yoga class, right? Like you should be recovering. You should be giving your body time. And then as you move, and it happens quickly, people are shocked by it's shockingly quick that like you're going to feel really good. Like quickly, you're going to feel like each week you're going to be like, okay, oh, okay. So it's just a matter of training your body and listening to your body.
It's so true, because like it's funny, I'll work out like with my friends, you know, we'll do these, like we have this hike that we have picked out, and at the top of each hill I make us do like squats or like the shuffle squats or like whatever, and I'll be up there and I'm like last 10, best 10, and that's like from Carella. But the mental aspect of what it is that you bring, I mean, it sounds so silly to say this, but like over the last, 6 to 8 months, I feel like you've had such a huge impact on my life, because the way you speak life into us as your clients and stuff like that, to me, it's equally as important as the physical aspect of what it is that we're doing. You know what I mean? Because you always say like, stay in the struggle. You know what I mean? There's goodness that comes from that. And it's so true. You know what I mean? And people can, for sure, like if I have 30 minutes a day, anyone can have 30 minutes a day. You know what I mean? I think that's like the biggest part. It's just about, it's nice to take that 30 minutes to know that it's going to work. It's going to be effective. And it's been such a great switch from the F45 to Carella Rae Live. Like, I'm so glad I did it.
Well, thank you for saying that, because seriously, like, it is hard sometimes because I'm in a room, I'm on a camera, like it's hard. And when people say what you just said to me, like I can't tell you like I'm good for the next month of like talking to a camera by myself, you know, like because that means everything to me. Truly it does. It really means like the world to me. And I get messages all the time like that. And that literally makes me wake up in the day because I want it to be more than a workout, right? You can get a workout anywhere. And now you're in COVID now, like with whatever, you can get an online workout, a great one, anywhere, right? It's more about like, what does it bring to your life? Does it empower you? Does it make you feel good about yourself? Does it make you feel like you can do hard things? Okay, great. So that makes me, thank you for saying that.
That's kind of like our mindset anyway.
Yeah.
So I know like she would love it because we're the type of people that like, you know, we're so driven, we're so ambitious and stuff like that. So to have a trainer that like speaks to that, but not only speaks to that, but encourages you to keep pushing, you know, and like even motivates you even more. It's kind of a rare find. Like it's hard to motivate someone like myself because I'm already pretty motivated.
Totally.
So like to have someone who motivates me even more, I'm like, dang, I got to get more of this, you know?
No, and I love that about you because I know that's true. And because, I mean, just look at what you've accomplished in your life and look at what a freaking boss you are. So that makes me so happy because it's true. And I'm the same way. Like, it's hard for me to, you know, I want to be the trainer that I would want to listen. Like I want to listen to because sometimes it is so hard because I'm already a motivated person. I already like doing hard things. So like, you got to get me to do a little bit harder, you know? So yeah, thank you for saying that.
Yeah,
it means everything to me.
Yeah, for sure. So, Carella, your skin's looking mighty good over there.
Okay, thank you. Enough about fitness. Can we just talk about, I need to say something. And I've been just dying to be here because as a fitness instructor, right? And just like in the, you know, health and wellness, and I freaking love all the things. I've had so many like, oh, try this product, try this, whatever. I have never seen a product change my skin in the way that these products have. Like I am sold, obsessed, and scroll through my Instagram, see anything. I've never ever said I even like a product before because truly I've never liked a product. I'm like, that's not whatever. You sent me these products, and I was like, and I was like looking at my husband Steve, and I was like, have you seen me lately? Like, look at me. He's like, you know, Steve doesn't notice friggin' anything. And he's like, oh, you got your hair done. I'm like, he's like, wow, like you are. And by the way, Steve is 100% a client. He's using all my products. He loves them. He's super into it. He's the under eye, the erase paste is his. They're amazing. They're truly amazing. And I've never recommended actually, you're the only product I've ever recommended to literally anyone. That's the only product I've ever recommended in my entire life. They're amazing.
How has it changed your skin? Like, what has it really done? Like, so we're talking about YovinoMD beauty skincare products.
And I just want to say quickly too, because we actually have a code and it's Carella15. Yes. And we normally only use it on like a couple products, right? But we're giving,
because you have our whole line practically.
Yeah.
Right?
So we have discounted 15% off of whatever it is that anyone wants out there with Carella15 because she's got it all.
Right.
I do have it all, and I'm very proud owner of all of it. And that was also another true testament to like, I'm like, order it. I want it all. Okay, so the way that I would say it has changed my face is like, I've never like loved my skin. I've always had like, never acne or anything like that, but just kind of like, you know, the little like never feeling like it's like really like glowing or soft or whatever, just kind of, yeah, and dry. I have really bad eczema, and so just never felt like when you like just are feeling, you look in the mirror and you're like, oh, whatever. Skin is not like has ever been that. And so that would be the number one thing is like my skin felt so clear and so, I guess like I don't even know the term for it, but maybe like hydrated, just like almost like I was glowing. Like it just felt all like, yeah, I just felt like, oh, I just felt like I looked really good. And I don't generally wear a lot of makeup anyways. And I felt like I needed to wear even less makeup. And I just am a big fan of not wearing a lot of makeup and lashes and just, looking really natural. And I felt like it allowed me to be that. And just, I love obviously filling her bottle, like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, what the heck? That's the best product ever. I feel like the retinol really helps me a lot. And I have melasma too. It's like kind of like, I don't really have it right now, but I'm really sensitive. I'm Italian, so I get dark spots. And so I feel like it's just kind of made everything like
And Ashley said you were just doing the pumpkin mask right before this live.
Okay, I need to talk about this pumpkin mask. I need to talk, what is in that? Like, I want to eat it. I want to put it all over my body. I want it. Okay, and this is really funny because I know my sister's watching this right now. So my sister, she's like, my typical, the baby sister or whatever. She's stealing stuff from the older sisters, beauty box, whatever. Yeah, she did. So the pumpkin mask, I was at my mom's for a while over this. Look at her. She goes, oh my God, the pumpkin mask. I know. And I was at my mom's for a while and we left my mom's because we were traveling around with camper van, whatever. And a lot of my stuff was at my mom's. And I left the pumpkin mask at my mom's. And so then like 3 weeks later, we were on a trip. We were all in Florida together and my sister was like, I don't want to incriminate myself, but that pumpkin mask, and I'm like, bro, like, she's like, I was all up in it the whole time. Like you were gone. I was using it and I'm like, okay, honestly, I'm happy for you that you use it because it's just amazing the way that it warms. And I also feel like I feel so good after I use it. And I don't know. I just have never felt that way. Like I've always felt like it's a placebo effect in my head where when I use products, I'm like, okay, is this really working? Like, but I don't feel that way at all. Every time I'm like, God dang, this is amazing. Yeah.
So when did you start using YovinoMD skincare? I think it was like September.
Yes. And that's the other thing. I've never I'm so fast to like change and find something new. Mm-hmm. So yeah, since September, and I will never use a different product ever again. Like
what's this bubble skin? Somebody's like, what about your bubble skin?
That's my girlfriend from okay, so this is so Cassandra saucy, come on. I have really sensitive skin, so like if you like scratch me, you would probably know the term. It's like I have extra something in my skin. So like when I scratch myself, it like bubbles up. And so like my girlfriends used to like write their name. It's so weird. Like they used to like write their names in my life. Like I'm really sensitive. I have insanely saucy. Look at she's laughing. I have really sensitive skin. So like you could like if you slap me on the face, like I
up like blister or like
no.
impetigo type of
like hot, it will raise. It will raise. It will just raise for like, this is so Cassandra. This is so. It will raise and then in 20 minutes, it's like a welt. I will welt.
Wow.
Like super. Yeah. It's so weird. Yeah. So yeah. No, seriously. It's the weirdest thing. You're an angel. Thank you, Cassandra, for mentioning that. So yeah, I could just put like a big S, like anywhere you want an A. Yeah. But that is also, yeah. But I'm actually glad, Saucy, that you brought that up because I do have really sensitive skin and I've never had any bad reaction to anything. That's another thing too, is like I'm super flaky or I'm like super dry or I'm whatever.
So retinol wasn't too harsh for you or anything like that?
No, it was actually amazing. I was just telling my sister to make sure because any retinol I've ever used before, I've always flaked. I have, the creases around the nose and stuff. So this is the first retinol I've ever used that I haven't flaked or felt like super crusty, I guess, from.
So one thing with this retinol is that it's encapsulated and it slowly time releases throughout the night versus it blasting you and then like doing so much. So it's a controlled, cellular turnover. So that's what separates medical grade from just like, other stuff. But yeah.
Okay, so I have a question for you guys because obviously I've been telling everybody like do these products, like everybody. Everybody. I'm like,
thank you.
Yeah, like do it or don't, but you need to do it. So what is the best? Okay, so my like go-tos every day are the premium growth serum. Is that what it's called? Premium growth serum? Filler in a bottle, obviously, and then retinol are like my main, like wouldn't miss if my life depended on it. So what did you guys say is like the best way to put them on? Like, I know you posted this, but I've had every person ask me, and like they're asking based off of like what they use or what they whatever. So what is in general like the best way to layer them?
So with those three products, you would put the growth factor on first. So you wash, clean skin. Put the growth factor on first, and then you dampen your fingers and kind of shake off the excess and squirt the filler in a bottle to pull in that extra hydration. And then you put the filler in a bottle on, and that's your day. And then at night, if you want to repeat those two, you can. And then you would put the retinol on last.
Right. So retinol always lasts, right? Because someone was saying it's first, and I was like, nah.
No, there's some conflicting views of put the retinol before the filler in a bottle or the filler in a bottle before the retinol. I think, you can, it could really be either way. It doesn't necessarily matter. It's not like you're going to get any less of an effect if you put the retinol first.
Right.
Which you can do, and then hydrate yourself after if you want. It really doesn't matter. It's just the growth factor should be first because you really want that to penetrate the deepest.
Well, guess what, ladies? I've been doing it just like that. So, and that is why it's working for me. So I'm happy to know.
So other things that, people do is, spray with a toner. The toner will change your pH and allow the products to penetrate deeper and more fully. So a toner is always a good add-on, and that you would do after you, cleanse your face. Spray the toner on, use like a cotton pad to wipe off all the dirt so then everything else can penetrate the deepest.
I don't know if I have a toner, so I'm going to need that.
A great way Dr. Sarah describes the toner is like, think of your skin like a sponge, right? And when a sponge is dry, the water will literally repel right off of it. But when you get it moist a little bit, it absorbs so much more. So it's important to have that toner because it really creates the best sort of like palette for all of your products to be absorbed. That's what she tells me.
And I think that's something so important because I've heard like that a little bit before. And like, I don't know anything about this stuff, right? Like I would never know that. And that's something that I feel like a lot of people don't know. And you're just using these products and you're not using them right. And I would never know that like to prep your skin for that, So, and that's the other thing that I feel like is like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know if it's the way in which I put them on because Ashley obviously was like giving me the whole thing, or I just take them more seriously, but whatever it is. But I really feel like the change in my skin and it's instant, right? Like it's like as soon as you put it on, you feel like you're like, okay, this is working for me.
But that's really the big difference between medical grade and just store-bought stuff. Because store-bought is a long, slow process and it may never even get you to where you need to be. But when you've got products that are like, much higher concentration and is proven to give you results and will penetrate deeply, you're going to see those results and feel those results,
And that's what, and that's what I would say. Like that if you're asking me like what's different is like, that's like, I actually feel like I have some sort of result from it versus I've done every cream ever, that people say that and it's just like, I don't know if this is really working for me. And obviously, I don't know, me personally, like if I'm going to pay for anything, like I'd rather pay for the best, right? And these products last a long time. Like I'm shocked by how long they last me.
And they're not crazy expensive for medical.
No.
They're not, I think the most expensive one we have is 130 and everything else is, anywhere from, what's like 35 is at least something like that. 100. And they're all kind of under 100,
Totally. And it's like, you're going to be paying 60% of that buying stuff that doesn't work, Right. So for me, it's like, I'd rather just buy something that works great for me. And then, so I am a huge fan and I could not possibly recommend more.
Now, which retinol do you have?
The 225.
A 0.25.
Or, yeah.
So if you go up to 0.5, then that also contains vitamin C and E in it, which will help with your melasma as well.
So you think that I'd be right, especially because I've been using it for a long time. So that's another question. Like, can I bump up once I've been using it for months, the
So
0.25.
retinol, you're supposed to see that cell turnover. You're supposed to see it like kind of peel off your skin. It could get a little red and irritated, and you're supposed to see the skin slough off. If you're not really seeing that anymore, you need to go up to the next one or decrease the window of when you're using it. So if you're using the retinol every night and you're really not noticing like the sloughing, or your skin doesn't seem like extra pink or anything like that, you need to go to the next one.
Okay, so it sounds like I do need to go to the next one, because I'm not anymore. Like, you know what I mean? And I use it every night because it just makes me feel good. Oh, yeah.
How long have you been using it?
Since I mean, I feel like I've taken a little bit of a break here and there. But since September, since I first started, I've been using the retinol. I'm pretty sure.
Retinol is the one product that is slow, and it's like the workhorse. So you want it, the longer you're on it, the more youthful your skin's going to look for the long haul. It will decrease all your fine lines and wrinkles. It will thicken your skin. People think, oh, it's sloughing my skin off, so it's making my skin thinner. No. It's actually going into the nucleus and turning on the genes to create thicker skin and to build collagen and elastin. So it is like your number one. Like, if I had to pick one product, that's it, that I use my entire life, it would be a retinol.
Okay, so that's so funny, because I was just talking with my sister, and I was saying the same thing. I'm like, honestly, I think I would use a retinol more than, even though I love filler and the premium growth serum. Like, I love both of them, but I do feel like the retinol is my favorite of anything. And can you explain, because I feel like a lot of people don't, like, I don't even totally know. I'm kind of like, oh my God, it looks good. So I don't know exactly what's happening. I just know that I like what's happening. So can you explain, maybe just for the three, the premium growth and the filler in the bottle, what those two are doing, or why you would recommend them the way that they are?
So the growth factor one is an amazing product that actually goes and repairs. Growth factors go and repair, right? So they repair your DNA damage that you will get from the sun, from blue light, which you find on phone screens or computer screens. You get this blue light damage, and blue light damage is just as bad and harsh as the sun, the UVA rays. So
I know.
Yeah, they're both.
That's depressing. That's very sad to hear.
I know. Yeah. So growth factor repairs all of that, and it also goes in and it stimulates new collagen and elastin production. So it is something, as you age, you start to feel like your skin's looking a little bit, older. If you want to repair it and fix it, it's good for environmental pollutants and good to just repair that DNA. So it's great to use for that. The filler in a bottle is hyaluronic acid. It's pure hyaluronic acid, and has 4 different size molecules of hyaluronic acid. So hyaluronic acid is what's in dermal fillers. And you also find it in the skin, and it is the main workhorse to keep your skin hydrated. So when you feel like your skin's super dry, and you put a moisturizer on, a moisturizer just sits on the outer layer and just seals whatever you have on the inside, but it doesn't actually rehydrate you. Whereas a hyaluronic acid absorbs in and then pulls water to it and hydrates you much more. They say it has a 1,000 times the affinity for water than does a regular moisturizer. So you want to put it on with damp hands or on damp skin. So it goes in and it sucks that moisture with it. So that's
God, I freaking love that. I'm just
silky smooth, and your skin feels dewy.
That's why I love it too. Because
that is the number one thing that I feel when I feel it. Yeah. I'm just I can feel. It's almost like you've had a when you get a facial and you've had that heat and steam on your skin for a really long time. That's the feeling that I get when I put it on after. It's you feel like it's all sucking in your face, and you're just and for someone who has super dry skin and eczema, it's made a huge difference for me for sure. And I feel like that's a lot of where me not feeling good about my skin comes from, because it never feels it never felt fresh. It never felt like it was glowy and fresh. It was just not anything super bad. I've never had cystic acne or anything like that, but just never woo, it looks so shiny and great, And I think that filler in a bottle.
But part of that's also the retinol sloughing off your extra layer and turning your cells over and allowing you to have just fresh cells on in your face. But you know what you said about just feeling smooth, we have a lot of patients that are, or clients that are makeup artists, and they say that the makeup just slides. And I know you don't use a lot of makeup, but they say that their makeup just goes on much smoother than before.
Totally. I feel like it just gives you the best base for anything. And even like when I'm not wearing makeup, like, or it just like, it makes you feel like you can not wear makeup, I guess.
Right. Right. I feel like this year for sure. I mean, I barely wear makeup.
But you know, this mask is like here, and you're like breathing it all.
What is a freaking point?
Right.
Like, and you're covered up, and then you're like smudging the makeup all over. It's like, not even.
So
can we talk about the inside of a mask? Can we talk about an inside of a mask? It is the grossest thing ever because you've got like lipstick and makeup and all of that. And it's like, it's embarrassing, my inside.
For sure. And a lot of people's skin is not reacting well to the masks at all.
No, because you're just getting it all, it's holding it all in. It's just rubbing it all over your face all day.
Well, and it's also like breathing, like bacteria, especially if people reuse a mask and they have bacteria from before, because your mouth is not a clean place, right?
Right.
And so here you are, like spreading it all over and steaming it and opening your pores, and then the bacteria is like, let me go.
Yeah.
So a question for you guys, because obviously, like, I'm such a fan of the products, and I always want to, you know, tell people about them because people ask me all the time, like, what do you do, or what's your skincare? But I feel like these products work for me. Like the three, like those are my go-to. And obviously the scrub that you give me and the mask and all those things. But like, if I had to pick three, they would be the three that we've talked about. But if someone is like, I'm like not into skincare, like kind of how I was, like, I'm not really that into skincare. I don't really believe that much in like that really has ever helped my skin. Like, I know that you said retinol is like the number one, which I kind of believe that too. Not that I have any expertise in any of this, but what would you say? Like, you're starting off and you're like, okay, 3 products, go.
Well, so we have it would really depend on the person, their age, and really what their skin issues are and what bothers them. And so on our website, the YovinoMD skincare, there is a consultation quiz. So they can actually take a quiz and put in all the different things that bother them about their skin. And then it will populate with what products that really are geared towards them. But if, say, we have multiple regimens also. We have regimens for melasma, for rejuvenation, for people that want to prevent any aging, for
all
rejuvenation. Yeah, for rejuvenation, for melasma, for rosacea, we have men's regimens. We have something if someone's like, I have no products, I have nothing, I don't know where to start, but I really want a full comprehensive all around kit. We have ones for acne and ones with acne with retinol. We have everything for any age group. And if they're like, okay, this is really what bothers me, there's a full kit that they can start out with and then see what products work for them and then just continue to just maybe get those individual products. But, you know, really the main 3, it depends on what really you're looking for. If you're like, look, my main thing is that I'm getting a little older and I want to, you know, get rid of my sunspots. Well, then it would be the retinol, it would be our pigment correcting serum, you know, and it would probably be the growth factor. Those are the 3 that I would pick for that kind of person. If someone's like, I have a hydration issue, I really need to hydrate, I would pick probably the filler in a bottle, the growth factor, and our wrinkle erase serum. Those 3 would be the main 3 for hydrating. So it all really depends on the person's issue and really what is sort of geared towards them.
That's why we say we have something for everyone.
We do.
We see all types of skin, you know, skin conditions, any patient that comes to our office, there's something that we can really tailor for them. But
like if they were breaking out, I'd say, okay, the acne serum, the acne pads, and a retinol. Those are the 3 for them, you know, because typically they're oily and they don't necessarily need, you know, to be extra hydrated or something like that. You know, the retinol sloughs off the dead layer, and so it doesn't allow it to plug. And then you have products that go in and like decrease the sebum and kill the bacteria.
And I feel like there's so much misinformation and people don't know what's going on with their skin. Like people see the reaction of like, oh, I'm getting acne or, oh, my skin's dry, but they don't know exactly what is going on in their face, you know? And so I love that, like, there's the way that I find it so interesting to know, like, this is why X is happening, you know? And that it seems like these products you're able to be like, to cater, because it's the same thing as fitness, right? It's like people are like, oh, I want to do this. It's like, okay, well, everyone's body types are different. So like you're going to respond the same as your skin. It's like you're going to respond to a certain training regimen differently than someone else's body. Like we all have different body types. We have all different skin types, and to be able to like cater that, I love that like you can cater it to each individual person and say like, hey, this is what you need to start with. Hey, this is going to make your skin just like a little bit better. And I definitely can't freaking thank you guys enough for that.
So do you feel that there are some problem zones that no matter how hard somebody works out, they're just never going to get rid of that bulge? Or do you feel like everything, you can get to every, like, you know,
Send them to our
every
office for a little lipo.
Yeah, because we can take
Yeah, and there's a fix for that. You know what? Again, it's totally like like person to person, and I think like that's such a good question because you can't spot train, right? Like you can't like lift your biceps and like you can't like you can do as many leg lifts as you want or like if you want a 6-pack of abs, like that's not going to do that if you just do crunches all the time. Like it's really about like if you want that super toned look, then like you have to like lower your body fat, right? And people say like there's a lot that goes into it. It's like your metabolism and like what kind of body type you are. For example, like I am freaking short. Like I am short. I have short legs and a big butt. Like I wish that people are like, oh, you have a big butt. Like, how did you get that? I'm like, I was born with it. Like, I want it to be a selling point for whatever. But the truth is like, I did nothing to get this. It was there. And thank God it's in right now. Like, thank God that juicy booty's in right now because, but to answer your question, yeah, I really think that is a real thing. And I think that it's important to like make people feel valid about like that upsetting them because there's this, so it's so important to be body positive, which I'm 100% body positive. And I think that loving your body in the way that it is the most important thing, but you shouldn't be shamed if there's something that you want to change about your body too, right? Like you are free to do whatever you want, whatever makes you feel good. And if you feel like, hey, I just like have this, I've had kids or I just naturally have like a super, just this spot that bothers me and you want to do something to change that, like people should be able to do whatever. You're not harming anyone. You're not doing anything. And yeah, people run into that problem all the time. And I think that first, the most important thing is, can you, accept and love yourself for where you're at? And number one, but yeah, I think it's a body, I'm never going to be tall and like super lean and whatever. That's just something that I could probably do some things to make me more that way, but I'm good with where I'm at,
But what do you think, what body part do you find to be the hardest to like
train?
To do that, to train, to change?
I think that for women, like women who want really, shredded abs, that's super hard, just because naturally. But again, I think it's so person to person. Like you can, if I'm gonna, have a problem area, it's gonna be in my lower body, and that's just, and then other people, it's gonna be in their arms or or something. Everybody, gains and loses weight differently. So yeah, and I also think it's about like what you, what kind of like what you focus on, right? So like some problem areas are problems for other people and they're not for other people. But yeah, I think like probably that is probably the hardest, I think, or what I've seen. Just naturally, we're more like women don't have the 6-pack abs that you see a lot of guys that friggin' eat donuts all day have.
Say, which my son's like eating donuts left and right over here.
Yeah.
Say you have a very obese person that is finds your site and is like, you know what, I want to really start working out, but obviously they can't endure a certain. What do you think is the best start? Like say, okay, we have less than 2 minutes. What would
sure?
Should we do
I'll answer it quickly.
No. Okay. So what would you say? This is okay. Start with this. Work your way. See, what would you say is the number one thing?
I would say doing everything with body weight, right? Because like to add in, weights and bands and all that stuff, I would say follow along body weight because you're moving your body, really focus on form. I think that if someone is like obese and really needs a lot of, that usually means that it needs to be really specific to your body, because there can be a lot of prone to injury. So I would say in that case, it would be super important maybe to work with someone who's a little bit more one-on-one and can really be like, hey, this, it's not good for you to do this amount because it could hurt your joints more than it could help. And I know who I am and I know what I can, whatever. And I don't feel comfortable being like, it's going to be great for you and you're just going to hop right in, because it could be dangerous, especially if you're someone who's not, don't know form very well. And so I would say, like, first of all, do what your body, again, always listen to your body. If you listen to it, it will tell you what feels good, what doesn't. And then, add in, start walking, start moving, start doing body weight stuff. Do my body weight classes. Don't leave the ground. You know what I mean? And don't jump.
And diet's really important too, right?
Yeah. Oh my God. It's a number one.
Are you a keto person or are you a low, like what are you? Are you like?
I'm a not one thing. I'm a eat the way that, the only thing that I practice, and it's not even, is I intermittent fast. So that's just the way that I eat naturally. I don't eat breakfast. I drink coffee. I work out on a fasted stomach. It's just what makes me feel good.
So we have 5 seconds left. So we want to say thank you.
Thank you. Love you.